So that Hurricane Zeta that we had, so I lived in Slidell at my grandmama's house at the time. One of the transformers blew up and the sky turned blue. I was going through a season of blue at the time. I can't fully describe it, but I knew that I felt blue. I wanted everything about me to be blue. And so to be seen as a result of a hurricane, I was like, my name is Cyan. My mother named me Cian Williams, and my chosen name in this moment is Cyan Cian. I'm a movement architect. I'm a body poet. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, by way of also Mississippi, Haiti, and Texas. I think there are instances in my childhood where I'm aware of my limbs. So I think I recall being aware of parts of me, but I don't think I can say that I recall the wholeness of myself. How my body was taken advantage of or neglected or forgotten caused a hyper awareness that I have a body that maybe is like available, whether that is of my choice or not, to others. And without knowing, I started a trajectory of acknowledgement of myself. My dad went to prison when I was 2, and so I was raised by my mother. And we moved to LA because she wanted to pursue her career in dance. And she took me everywhere, so I went with her to all of her auditions, all of her performances. I was there and I was witnessing all kinds of people move their bodies throughout my entire childhood. And then also witnessing other people in my family have experiences where their bodies were also being neglected, maybe in different ways. My grandma, my mama, Allie Jo Prevost, she was a nun. She had 4 children that lived through life, and she had some stillbirths and a lot of miscarriages. And so there was a lot of pain that she was carrying in her womb. She stopped moving, she stopped engaging in daily life practices, and she started to get sick. And from my understanding, that led to some dementia, which then turned to her transition. But she did not transition because of her dementia. She transitioned because of neglect. We have to reconsider how we are taking up space together in collective. That is how I'm arriving at body poetry. Body poetry is an opportunity to be in collective communion. It is an invitation to a practice of self-agency, an invitation of independence and self-permission for your own body. What are the things that your body is asking to be attentive to and with? Closing your eyes, just giving yourself some touch, whether that be your shoulders, touching places that desire tenderness, and a reminder that it is a habitat. Opening up your chest, opening up your heart space. How do you express your own poetry? How are you a body poet? And that doesn't mean that you are a dancer, but could it mean that you have an embodied practice? And how do you name that embodiment? It is ancestral honor and a remembrance of our freedom to see ourselves and see each other within this landscape. This place is a humid, living, embodied swamp enclosure of love and history. You can feel that in the aura of New Orleans. It's not just a singular layer that's underneath us, it comes over. There's some special magic happening in that humid holding. And that to me is the movement of the people. And that is why we don't leave our block, we hold it. We hold it so tight. When I think about the relationship to movement between the folks here and the land, I think about Bernice Johnson Reagan, and she says, the only way you can stay where you are is to move. And the only way you can keep what you have is to leave it. Our movement patterns are not by choice, whether that is the annual ritual of the hurricanes that we have experienced throughout history or colonization. Those are not our choices to move in that way. But the ways that we keep what is close to us, there is also a necessity to move, to leave it and to remember. And in that memory, in that remembering practice, remember who we are and where we come from. I come from priests and nuns. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, there is service in me, an understanding of devotion, and that does not have to look like how I was raised to believe it to be. I want to be remembered for considering how I activate and give myself self-permission and self-agency, that we live in a world that does not offer that. And so how can I create environments and create worlds and build space to make that possible, even if it's just for a moment? That feels good to me. That feels like enough.